Nice. It just the last broadcast just ended with you going, "I'm just gonna," and then I clicked, and then it was gone.
Classic. Classic. Oh, hell yeah.
Famous last words. Well, okay. I guess hopefully we'll stay online this time. I'll do the intro again. Welcome to How to Kick Flip a Horse, mostly weekly tabletop RPG podcast, but this week we're not doing that. We're talking about nerd shit tonight. So if you're in the chat, stop by, say hello, and ask us what you want to talk about or what you want to say. We're going to talk about some video games and some sumo and some other nerd shit, and we're going to answer questions off of some different subreddits. And so, yeah, starting us off here tonight is Jesse's Sumo Corner.
Enjoy the live editing.
Yeah, I mean, you're killing it, dude.
Thank you.
Fastest
Fastest
window resizer in the West.
Woo.
It's all that StarCraft you've been playing.
It's true. Micro Jackson over here.
What's your clicks per minute at right now?
It's like 50. It's not great.
It's not bad.
I played with a friend, and she was like, "Yeah, I haven't played in years. Let's play." And her, like, the first time we played together, her default was like 80 or something. I was like, "Damn, you were smashing."
Natural real-time strategist.
Okay.
Well,
one more second.
Yeah, sure.
No, you can keep talking.
It's I imagine it's a different set of skills for StarCraft versus the Subnautica. Using your engineer brain versus your strategic engagement brain. But I guess technically every game that functions in real time is to some extent a real-time strategy game.
That's not wrong. It's certainly not wrong. Okay. Hold the fucking phone a minute. What is happening? I don't understand.
Holding. Get it?
Yes, well done.
I'm holding.
It was very good.
Holding a phone. Oh, and I'm not on video.
That's the problem.
Visual joke was wasted. Fuck my life.
Problem, I know. I'm sorry. It's the problem.
Excuse me.
I think I figured everything out.
Great.
I'm just an idiot. See, this is what happens when you compliment me.
Well.
Never again. Okay. We are back in action. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. Here's Sumo. Do you want to make your visual joke again?
Well, you got to say the thing.
I don't remember what I said. Ever.
It's okay. The visual joke was to hold the phone, and then I picked up my phone and held it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Visual comedic genius. This guy.
Okay, before we get into this, Ivan,
So
I think
lay some sumo on me.
Most importantly, Ivan, I think I've discovered your favorite sumo wrestler.
Is it that little guy?
Yes, but it's this little guy. So there's a little guy in pros right now who, let's see if I can bring up this without embarrassing myself with my recent video searches.
And no one cares.
Yeah, it's just rock climbing. So the one guy I want to introduce you to is Toby Zaru, and he is known as the Flying Monkey.
Amazing.
Is he actually here in some?
I love a nickname that is so descriptive. Is it because he just like jumps on the dudes?
Yeah, he's very agile.
Oh yeah.
And the really cool part was, I wish I were a little more prepared for this, but he like does this little monkey pose and stuff, and it's really fun.
Sick.
Okay, one last check. But anyway, we can watch some sumo. We'll watch this fight because he's amazing. No mask for Toby. So he's talking about Akiyoi. Here was probably my favorite fight of the day. We'll get right to the end. But here's probably my favorite fight of the day. Hoshoryu, the Rising Dragon, who is currently in a lead for first. And he's on the right from Mongolia.
See it. God, the refs threads are so
good, right?
So cool.
So
Damn, just put them right down.
This is probably the most exciting fight of the day. I gotta show you Hoshoryu's fight from yesterday.
Sure.
But here's...
Keep in mind, I'm watching this via the Twitch, so there's a little delay for me.
I keep remembering that. So the next video I'm going to show you... Or I keep forgetting that. Thank you for reminding me.
That's right.
This next video is Takakeshu versus Tobizaru. So Tobizaru is only 293 pounds, and Takakeshu is 360.
Wow.
The Yokozuna is out of this tournament, making Takakeshu, the 26-year-old from Japan, the #1 ranked wrestler in this tournament.
Wow.
He's a big boy. He hits hard. He pushes hard. So here they go.
He's got like 70 pounds on this guy.
Oh yeah.
It's bonkers. Oh yeah, I see their weights down at the bottom. Reacting in not real time. When you react, I'll just pretend to react too.
Oh, I'm waiting for you to react so I don't ruin anything.
They're mostly just throwing hands. Oh, you can see his like cups and his cupping marks on his back. Damn, he got him right out of there.
Yep.
There's Tobizaru.
Mm-hmm. The flying monkey one.
Nice. Is he gonna do his monkey pose?
No, I can't find him doing it. He basically does this and he goes ee, and it's really cute.
Fantastic.
I want to show you this stare down. I think it's here.
Doing like big glare. Dude, the ref's threads are so sick. I love that shit.
Oh, it's not the stare down.
Looks like if a casino got turned into a person. Oh. Oh. Grab his diaper. Oh, kick his leg. Oh, slap him. Give him a bigger wedgie. Oof. Yow.
Right?
Man. He really threw him. He's like, oh, my fucking junk and butt crack.
Okay, here is the stare down.
Okay.
Sorry about that. This
way. I'm here for sumo corner.
Hell yeah.
He's like, I'm just gonna squat. I'll be here when you're ready. Any old time. Any old time.
Hoshoryu is just unbroken.
It's just like, I have perfect posture. Are you by your goddamn pants again? Do it. Oh! Damn, he picked him all the way up. Oh!
Ooh.
Dang, he hit his elbow pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
He hit his funny bone.
Yeah, Hoshoryu is the man.
Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. How many more days of tournament are there?
It's going to go until next Sunday will be the final day. Day 15.
What's that, the Sunday after Thanksgiving?
Yep.
Sick.
Yeah. So all the sumo wrestlers will have their Thanksgiving and then they'll come wrestle that day.
Are you? They all weigh a little bit more because of their big Thanksgiving dinners the
Right.
night before.
Exactly. Yes.
I ate 60 pounds of turkey. I'm in a different weight class now. Like, Jesus, they said it couldn't be done.
This guy on the left, Asanoyama,
Mhm.
he was like gearing up to become a yokozuna,
Oh,
but
yeah.
he broke COVID protocol and was heavily punished. And
I remember you telling me
yep,
about this. Yeah.
so he lost
Damn,
like
what?
a year plus, and he's been climbing back, and so he's just like powerhousing his way
And he
through the
just
low ranks.
completely psyched that dude out. It was wild. Um,
So these guys have never like, for all intents and purposes, like these guys have never faced a wrestler as talented as this guy.
right, because like where they are relative to where he was,
Mm-hmm.
they're like not on that rank yet.
They're like almost 100 wrestlers lower.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah,
Damn.
they will like never like it'll be a long time before they,
Did he?
those
So
guys
did
climb
he
back
break
up.
COVID protocol like because he was like being an asshole? Like I'm not gonna wear a mask or whatever, or was it like he? I don't know.
I'm not
Some
100%
better
sure.
explanation. I imagine he probably just didn't feel like doing it.
I don't remember if he went out and let's see. Sanoyama essentially sidelined for a year. Suspension for 6 tournaments for breaking coronavirus safety guidelines. So the 27-year-old dined out while members of the Sumo Association were under instructions to stay home.
Rude.
Yeah, and so the thing is, you gotta understand, like, because I think to a lot of Westerners, it's very much like, whatever. But in Japan society, they and their culture, they sort of hold celebrities and high-ranking sumo wrestlers as sort of like role models for the rest of society. So they're really
Sure.
expected to like behave more. Unlike like the way sort of we in America idolize rock stars, and they always have these affairs and do drugs and shit like that.
Sure. Well, yeah, they can do no wrong when they're popular American shit.
Exactly. And even like to the extent like so this white belt that the Yokozuna wears, um, having trouble bringing it into frame.
The
But like
zigzaggy one.
yeah, yeah. So the point of like so I said they act as role models, but that white belt is actually like a Shinto like relic of some sort. Like
Oh
the
yeah.
Yokozuna is technically considered like a living god.
Oh yeah. I've heard
Just
about
like
that.
sort of Shinto-y. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sure. Like the physical embodiment of it. Like
Right.
he's not like expected to have the power of a god.
Of course,
He's
right.
just he's meant to be a a worthy aspect, if you will.
Exactly. Exactly. That's pretty cool. Part of their like cultural stuff. Um,
I
as
think
a
Shintoism is
Westerner,
pretty
you kind
interesting.
of yeah, it's very interesting.
I
It's
don't know a
cool.
lot about it. My very basic and probably wrong understanding of it, but this is part of what intrigues me about it. Is it's just everything has a ghost.
Basically, yeah,
All
little
your stuff is
spirits.
haunted, essentially. All things, all haunted, all the
Mm-hmm.
time. Get used to it. Burn some money for your dead ancestors, so they
Exactly.
can shop in the afterlife. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
For the most popular religion in a place that's considered a religious, like that's intriguing. I think I could probably get behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It also seems like one of those things where it's kind of like it's not like, again, I don't know if this is true or not, but I have a hard time believing that a spiritual system of that sort of like I have a hard time believing that there's like zealous Shintoists. Like no one's out there
Mm-hmm.
like trying to get like people
Converting
to
people,
convert to
right?
Shintoism, or being like, no, Shintoism's the shit. Also, you guys should put your money together and buy
Mm-hmm.
me a boat.
Right. All those Shinto missionaries
It's
out there.
it's kind of like
The
it
Shinto
seems
mega
more like
churches.
well, why not? Like whatever. What else are we gonna do this weekend?
You
Let's
like good
let's
luck, right? Like, let's
yeah,
just like talk to some of the spirit of the tree for
let's
good luck. No big.
right. Yeah, that makes
Easy as
makes as much sense as anything else.
I'm saying. Makes more sense than capitalism.
Mm, ghost capitalism.
Whoa.
If you if you
God, come
believe in
on,
that,
man.
that
Is
means
nothing
all our money
sacred?
has little ghosts in it. No, but that's the optimal approach. That's the optimal state of being.
Oh, I see where you're going with it. I was worried that it meant that I had to fucking work in heaven or in the afterlife.
No, you don't have to work. You just have to shop.
Mm,
And I mean,
okay.
as long as your
Who's paying
descendants
for
are
this?
burning fake money for you, your descendants they burn the fake money so that you get it as ghost money in the ghost world.
Okay, but who's paying ghost
Right?
taxes?
I don't. I kind of doubt there is any.
Okay, good. We're cool then.
All right, Google Shintoism is their ghost taxes. Sorry to any Shintoists out there. We don't mean to
No.
not take your stuff any less seriously than it ought to be, but you gotta admit it's a little fun. They're kind of all a little funny, and we're people that talk about video games and stuff. So don't take what we say seriously.
Hmm. There he goes. Here's little monkey Tobizaru.
Where is he? That's fun. I mean, he looks like he's having a great time. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Um, you read any good books lately?
Um. No, I'm well. Actually, that's kind of a fun segue because I'm actually just reading a sumo book. Really.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What what's the haps?
It's
What's
called
the
The Way of
scope of your
Ash.
sumo boat?
The
Okay.
Way The Way of Salt by Ash Warren.
Hmm.
It's pretty cool. He's an English dude, so they just tend to write however. They just throw the words down. Like punctuation be damned.
Okay.
I thought I was making a joke, but it ended up being very not funny. Um, but no, it's cool. He goes really into the history of living in Japan for the
Was
past
that a
like couple years.
joke about your ability to read English?
Hmm.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I didn't mean to derail. I just didn't get the joke.
No, I was
And
just trying to say that
I want to believe it
he
was a good
uses
one.
semicolons a lot, and it's kind of wild.
Uh, yeah. I feel like a lot of people treat a semicolon as like a cheat code to make a run-on sentence.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that's still not how you use a semicolon, and that
Right.
is still a run-on sentence.
But it's a great book. I'm really enjoying it.
Cool.
Yeah, but that's pretty much that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. What about you? You stay reading. Did you start that Ian
Stay
Banks
be
book?
reading. No, I think that's probably what I'm gonna read next after the one I just started. Um, I finished. What was it called? What was the last book I read? Case and the Dreamer by Theodore Sturgeon, who is a well-known pulp sci-fi writer and publisher. I believe he did most of his stuff in the 70s, I want to say.
Okay. He looks like he's
Yeah,
straight out of oh my
yeah,
god,
he
The
looks like a
Lighthouse.
total weirdo.
Yeah.
He looks oh yeah, looks sort of like John Carpenter adjacent.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I see that.
Yeah. Um, but I heard about him initially because of the Strugatsky brothers. He was,
Mm,
and I'm pretty sure I've talked about the Strugatsky brothers on the stream before. I know I've
most
talked to them,
definitely.
talked to you about them definitely, in just regular conversation. But he Sturgeon apparently was instrumental in getting the Strugatsky's work published in English originally.
Aha.
Um, he like knew a guy who knew a guy who managed to get some of their manuscripts out from behind the Iron Curtain, and Sturgeon was like, "These are fucking rad. I'm gonna put these in my magazines, and then uh, hopefully eventually get in touch with these guys." And then I guess he did. Uh, but a lot of their books are super hard to find now. A couple of them are getting reprinted in April of next year,
Oh shit.
um, which I'm pretty excited about. Uh,
Arcady and Boris.
yep, those are them. A mathematician and a linguist.
Interesting.
Yep. Um, but yeah, so the books that are getting reprinted are ones that I have read already, but I think they're all new translations,
Oh,
which is
that could be
pretty
very
cool.
cool. Yeah.
Mhm. And the one they changed the title. I don't like what they changed the title to because it's hard to say and hard to remember.
Mm.
Versus the original title, which is very accurate but also stupid sounding. The original title was The Time Wanderers, which is like
Easy enough.
kind of exactly what the book is about, uh, but also makes it sound like a very like a B sci-fi, like on par with something like Forbidden Planet or
Right.
The Brain
Exactly.
Eaters or something like that.
Right.
But
Very
the new title is The Wave Extinguishes the Wind.
pulpy. Ooh.
Yeah, sounds a little highbrow.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
Um, so I'm wondering. I feel like that's kind of like the two ways. So one of their other books, Roadside Picnic, is what the movie Stalker was based on, and the Stalker games, looser based on it. I got those trailers on that
Okay, cool.
playlist. Two movie trailers based on their books. But Roadside Picnic, when I first read it, I read an older translation, and it was more like our. It was very very Russian. Like I don't know how much like classic Russian literature, if any, you've read like Dostoevsky or like fucking what's the other guy, Tolstoy.
Not
Uh,
very much.
oh, the Russian literature is famously dense
Mm-hmm.
and dry,
That makes sense why I
and
haven't read it.
I felt like the older translation that I read was very like dense and dry, even though it's like fairly simple, straightforward sci-fi story. Uh, but then the newer translation, that shit was like it was like almost like a swashbuckling type of thing. Like the guys, like the main dude's like cracking jokes at parts,
Oh shit.
and it's just like a slightly different read of like what unfolds. Like instead of him being like, nothing is for anything, nothing has any meaning. He's like, well, nothing has any meaning, so
Gets all nihilistic
like,
about it.
yeah, it's like a little more. It's got like a different energy to it. Like it has
Mm-hmm.
energy. Like it seems like you know it's not so gloomy. which I thought was an interesting change. And I wonder how the new translations of the other two that I had read before. The other one's called Beetle in the Anthill,
So
which is another one of the coolest fucking sci-fi books I've ever read. That one is much less dour than uh, the OG Roadside Picnic for sure.
okay.
But it's still like a really cool and fun book, with like the sort of like it's like philosophical sci-fi almost,
Right.
in that it just sort of asks like what is the point really,
Yeah. Right.
you
Right.
know?
Right. Yeah. So with the translation, you said where the guy was cracking jokes in the new version. Do you think it was relatively like better, worse, just different?
I think just different more than anything. I can see like the value in either interpretation,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just sort of a fun change of pace, isn't it? But there's but also to an extent, I feel like the more like not like cracking jokes is not entirely accurate, like
Yeah. Sure.
but he just his like attitude is more like devil may care, like he's more of like an anti-hero than like a put upon sap.
Okay.
uh
That makes perfect sense.
but and I feel like that's more in line ultimately with the rest of their books, because Roadside Picnic is outside of their Noon universe.
Hmm.
uh Excuse me.
Nice.
Which is what the other three books that I mentioned are all on that same sort of timeline, just at various different spots.
Right.
But those have more of a like more of that mood. Like they're like you can tell that they're having fun writing it, and there are parts where in different books, like you can kind of see these characters like enjoying themselves. Like it's not just this world of like high stakes sci-fi action.
Right.
There's the book actually called Noon. One of the stories in that is basically just these four like on the verge of retirement cranky scientists like hanging out for a couple of days to like do like one little piddly part of this project,
Mm.
and they're just like cracking jokes and like making fun of each other and like, well, let's talk about all the wild shit we've seen. And they're like, ha, don't let don't let Grabowski be the first one to talk to the aliens, because then our first the first sentence of our new contact will be, please let me lay down. Because Grabowski's like he's like famously lazy.
Right. That's hilarious.
It's
Do,
really funny.
do you think it
They're
would be
really fun and funny
harder
books.
reading them in the other order?
Well, so I read them completely out of order. I read like three of them before I realized that there even was a larger continuity.
Ah.
Um, More than a lot of other books that I've read. The other book that I wanted to talk about tonight is one of the only series that I think does that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Strugatskys, each of the books, even completely separate from any of the other books in the timeline, all very much stand alone as like cool books. Like you don't need to
Cool.
know any you
You
don't
just
need
jumped
to
in
know that.
everywhere.
Yeah, you don't need to know that there's a bigger continuity. Like
Wonderful.
if you read one of the three books with the character Maxim Kammerer in it, you might pick it up sooner that there's a bigger continuity. But even the books where they're told from his point of view, they don't really have anything to do with one another except that he's the one telling the story.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. They also the three books. I think it's only three of them. The three books that I have read anyway that are that guy take place at the very beginning of his career, like dead in the middle, and then at the very end. So like
Oh, you got the
they
full
really
spread.
just yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
um, but yeah, they're all super cool. Highly recommend them.
We
The
have,
other book,
we have a guest.
the book that oh hey, what's up?
Special guest from
What's up,
Ozzy.
you little guy?
Ozzy Nuts.
Little nub man. Oh yeah.
Yeah, what was the other
But
book?
the other series is C.J. Cherry's Alliance Union Universe,
Okay.
which is a lot of fucking books. I found out today.
Oh shit.
I try and
It is a
pick
universe.
one up often as I can. Yeah, but that was another one. I read the first couple the first couple that I did read. I read without realizing that they were part of a larger continuity. And then after the third one, I was like, wait a second, I know some of these names. And then I was like, wait a second, that happened earlier. Or no, actually, it was the
Right.
other way around.
Okay.
It was like this character from a thing that I had read previously. I was like, wait a second, she winds up doing this thing.
I
This must
recognize
be
that name.
before that. But all the stuff that I've read by her has been pretty good. The Alliance Union stuff is all mega tight. I read one book called Invader, I think it was, or no, it was Foreigner. Was the name
I
of
think I've
that,
heard of
and
that.
it was like fine, but it was really heavy on the like sci-fi jargon. Like
Mm.
I'm pretty sure it had a glossary in the back, and I feel like it's easy to kind of put one of those in your book and not really have it be earned.
Sure.
Um, and it wasn't that it felt unearned in that it just felt extraneous. Like I feel like instead of calling them the the whatever the fuck made up alien word, they could have just been like the governor.
Right.
She's like tries to like make all this like alien government shit and like calls it all these different names. And there's also like all these specific names for like their customs and like these air horse things they ride around on and like I don't know.
That's exactly why I
Just a
don't play the
little
Protoss.
a little bit over complex. Yeah, that's fair. Um but that's the only one of them that I've read that I wasn't like the whole time I was reading it that I wasn't like this completely fucking rules.
Oh.
The other ones, I feel like I've said this before. The other ones remind me of like The Wire in space.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely
It's
remember you
like,
using that
or
description.
like punk rock Star Trek
Okay.
is another way that I've described it.
I like both of
Um,
those.
yeah, highly recommend both of those authors, all of those books. Oh, this trailer that you've got queued up here is for their book, the movie adaptation of their book, Hard to Be a God.
What a title.
Which involves a guy. So the Noon universe, there's the idea of these people called progressors who are like their Starfleet,
Mm-hmm.
but instead of the prime directive being non-interference, it is to advance societies and keep them from falling to things like nuclear war or fascism.
Mm.
So this dude who's playing the trumpet thing is one of these progressors, and he finds himself on this planet populated by essentially medieval humans.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, these medieval humans, the ones in charge anyway, have stumbled upon fascism a lot earlier than societies usually do.
Damn.
And they've started murdering their scientists and artists and basically creating a police state. And so this dude, who through his technology is functionally immortal, his clothes like look like regular clothes, but they're like flame proof, stab proof, bulletproof. He can like eat and drink poison shit because he has a bio blockade that just like filters everything out of everything that he eats or drinks.
Okay.
Um,
But I mean,
he's
like,
like
he could still get stabbed in the face or something, right?
I think it would probably just bounce off him.
Does he have a
I
mask?
think he like I don't know. The other thing
Okay.
is he's like a master martial artist, They talk at one point. They're like, "You've been in more duels than anyone we've ever seen in this part of the country in like our entire history, but you've never killed anyone.
Mm.
Like you just fuck dudes up in the duel and then you leave them alive. No one does that. You've been in like 500 of these fucking things."
That's wild.
um,
That
yeah,
sounds really fun.
it's really cool. I enjoyed it.
Hmm.
It's all that that movie though is extremely Russian. Uh, it's
Yeah.
very slow. It's like I think it's over 3 hours,
Oh my god.
and
I'd
it's
cross
just
that right off.
long, quiet shots of just black and white medieval destitution.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds.
Uh,
It sounds fun, but like you know me, man. I think all movies should. I think it should be illegal to make a movie longer than 90 minutes. You go
you could
right to
probably.
jail.
I feel like if you just like if you watched it in 10-minute increments, but like
Yeah.
chose 10
Yeah.
minutes from so like you hit play, immediately skip 30 minutes into the movie. Watch 10 minutes, skip another 30 minutes ahead, watch 10 minutes, and then I feel like that would give you maybe
Okay.
enough. It would certainly be a trip.
Could I just have
Uh,
it on in the
but like
background at
it's
work, like on my
um
second monitor?
I think there might be some breast action that you might not want to have on screen.
Oh,
There's also a bare ass right at the very beginning
whoa,
that I think poops. Uh, I think there is
word,
a bear pooping ass right at the beginning, and then someone comes by and pokes the guy in the ass with the spear
nice,
to be like, "Quit pooping in the street, man."
Jesus,
Um,
that's hilarious, and also not
it's
actually
really
funny.
bonkers. Yeah, like part of the like horror of that situation is like he's like the only dude that knows what clean is. Like
Mm,
his servants like think that he's insane because he wants them to change the bed sheets.
right.
They're like, "Who changes the bed sheets?" And he's like, "I do. Fuck you. Do it."
Do it, motherfuckers. That's funny. Did you you know I've been meaning to ask you
So,
um have you watched any of the Guillermo del Toro series?
oh no, you
Guillermo.
know, we talked about it and then I did not. Uh,
Nice.
I certainly plan to.
Hell yeah, banger. I've got one
Um,
more episode.
nice. How do you know? Do you remember how many episodes it is off the top of your head?
I think six. Yeah, I think it's
Nice.
six, like 45 minutes, to one
Are they
hour.
all Lovecraft adaptations, or are some of them like originals?
Only two of them are Lovecraft adaptations. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and I'm not sure. Like, I know at least one of them. Guillermo del Toro is in the credits.
Hmm.
Admittedly, I haven't really been paying that much attention to the credits, so he could very well have been
Sure.
in all of them. But so I don't know like the degree to which he's involved with each film, or if he's just
Sure.
curating it and writing introductions. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
um, but it's
Let's
awesome,
find
and
out.
it all feels very much like, it's all got that good GDT feel.
That good GDT.
Yeah, buddy.
Let's see. Show me the whole credits. Looks like he's an executive producer and hmm, and not a director on any of them. So I guess he just yeah, just like
I like your
commissioned
idea of
these
mixed
or
producers.
right. I recognize some some of these director names. Vincenzo Natali, I recognize that, but I don't know what he did. Oh, the guy from Cube.
Cool bear.
He directed 1997's Cube.
Interesting.
And nothing else I've heard of. Oh, I've heard of Splice. Um, let's see. David Pryor, that's another one that I feel like I know that name, but I couldn't tell you. Oh, The Empty Man. I watched that pretty recently. That was pretty cool. You seen that?
Mm-mm.
It's like a Lovecraftian adjacent like detective movie.
Okay.
Pretty fun. Anna Lily Amirpour is the lady that did that vampire movie. Uh, a girl walks home alone at night. I wasn't super into that one. She
Hers
also
is
did the
pretty
Bad
good.
Batch, which I also wasn't into, but I did watch the whole thing versus A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, which I turned off partway through. Sorry, Miss
Yeah.
Amirpour. Panos Cosmatos, that's the son of Sergio Cosmatos, director of Tombstone.
Oh shit! Really?
Oh, and the guy that did Mandy, Panos Cosmatos.
Ah.
You saw Mandy, right?
I haven't actually. That's the Nick Cage film, right?
Oh, shit. Yeah, yeah,
Where
yeah.
he like goes to
You
hell
should
and
see it
shit.
because
Yeah,
it's
I've heard it's
extremely good.
amazing. Yeah. I've been
Very,
so Maddie and I went on a
very
Nick
fun,
Cage.
completely buck wild. Oh, nice.
Yeah, we went on a Nick Cage thing, and that
A
was
Nick
like two,
Cage kick.
that was that was like 2 years ago, and she still can't like watch a Nick Cage movie. So
She's still Nick Caged out.
yep, she got
You
burned
should,
out.
if you're able to, or if you want to attempt to convince her to go on another Nick Cage kick, you should ease her back in with the unbearable weight of massive talent,
Okay,
uh, which
that is
was
Nicolas Cage.
well, that was the most recent Nick Cage movie that I've seen,
Okay.
where he plays himself and he gets he's like in money trouble or whatever, and he gets hired to appear at this rich guy's birthday party, and it turns out the rich guy is like a money launderer for
Whoa.
the Mexican cartels, and they wind up becoming best friends and going on a very funny adventure.
Is this Nick Cage's real
Um,
life? His
well,
dream life?
he plays himself in
That's what I'm
it.
saying.
So it wouldn't surprise me that much. Um, I thought it was really good. The billionaire is played by the Mandalorian,
Oh, nice.
um, he's been great in everything I've seen him in.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen the Mandalorian, but I saw him in. I feel like I talked about this on the stream too. A movie called wait fuck what was it called? A movie called Prospect.
Uh huh. Yes.
Um, I really enjoyed that. It was like a very cool like low tech sci-fi. Uh, it sort of reminded me of Aliens
Okay.
or Alien rather,
Okay.
but like frontier Alien.
Mm.
Um, and there's not like an alien in it. Uh, just a bunch of human jerks.
As
Um,
usual.
but he's really good in that, and the movie itself is also really good. Highly recommend again.
Hell yeah.
Um,
The
did you see Nope?
It's funny you said that because the last Nick Cage movie that I saw, he also played himself. It was A Color Out of Space.
I was like, which one's he gonna say? uh,
Which was
it
awesome. I
was
thought they did a really fun
it
rendition
was
of it.
the Wicker Man.
Oh God.
It was fuck. What's the David Lynch one? God damn it! What's that movie called? Never mind.
Color
You
Out
know
of
which one
Space
I'm
was
thinking
awesome.
of.
It was just real long for me.
Hmm.
Real
It was
long.
very long, um, and sort of. I felt like Nick Cage was having a hard time knowing what mood they were going for.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like it seems
It
like
makes
the
sense. It's a
director
hard.
told him that he wanted Nick Cage at a 10, and maybe Nick Cage was only feeling like a 7 that weekend.
Hilarious. I'm would like to continue. I know you asked me about Nope. I don't want to ignore that. But do we want to
Oh
take a
no,
little
that's
break,
fine.
skis?
Yeah, we can do a little break here if you want.
Little 9:30 break action. Figure. How long do you want to go to?
We can go as long as you feel like.
Okay.
You know, if we don't have a hard 10 exit, we can. I'm sure we can stretch this to 10:30. I still want to talk about Nope. I want to talk about how I beat Heroes of Hammerwatch. I wanted to talk
What's
briefly
that?
about the new Legacy of Kain game rumors.
Dope.
I wanted to talk about Mothership, and then I got, let's see, one, two, three, four. I got five, nope, six questions from Reddit that I can read to fill more time. So,
So we have plenty of material.
yes, indeed,
Cool, cool. Well,
we do, we
somewhere
do, we do.
between 10 and 10:30 will work for me. I think.
All right, great.
Cool.
Well, then let's do a quick break here, and thanks anyone out there in Twitch or YouTube land for tuning in and hanging out with us.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see you just a bit to talk about that stuff that I just said. All right, I love you.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, buddy.
What up?
Hey, buddy.
How you doing?
Oh, not bad. How are you?
Oh, not bad, thank you.
Great. Love to hear it. Love to hear it.
Right.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for staying tuned. If you are indeed stayed tuned, appreciate you. So yeah, we're gonna just keep on talking about nerd stuff here on How to Kickflip a Horse. How to Kickflip a Horse presents From the Horse's Mouth. Uh, when we left off, I had just asked Jesse if he had seen Nope.
I have not. The
Have
answer
you
to that
seen
question
any
is the name of
of?
the movie.
Have you seen any of Jordan Peele's other movies?
Yeah, I saw Get Out.
Cool. Not Us.
I don't think so.
It was alright. It wasn't as good as Get Out. Get Out, I feel like, is pretty pretty close to perfect movie.
Yeah.
Um, Us sort of stumbled in setting up its like rules of its world.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. There were a few like logical leaps that I felt were not handled well. But overall, a fine movie. You could certainly do worse.
Okay.
Nope was very good, much better than Us. Not as good as Get Out, but much better than Us.
Okay.
And I'd say totally worth seeing. So check it out if you want to see a spooky movie.
Have you ever seen that movie? I think it's called The Spiral.
The Spiral. No, I don't think I have.
It's on Shutter. Let's see if I can find the right one. Yes. Hold on.
Criminal mastermind unleashes a twisted form of justice.
No, it's another.
Oh, that's a Saw movie starring Chris Rock.
No. Is it Spiral? I think it's Spiral on Shutter. Yes. Yeah. Okay. It's another
Same-sex
one of
couple
those.
move to a small town to
Exactly. Yep.
enjoy a better quality of life and raise their daughter with strong social values. But when neighbors throw a very strange party, nothing is as it seems in their picturesque neighborhood. Directed by Curtis David Harder, which is a very great name.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Has he done anything else? He's been on those VHS movies. Apparently, those are pretty good. It's the only thing on here that I know. I don't have Shutter. I feel like I don't like seek out horror movies
Yeah.
enough to really warrant having it. But
It's fun during spooky season.
definitely, I'm still I still have all of my Netflix DVDs, all my horror movies moved to the top from
Oh
my over ambitious spooky season watching. I have Candyman, the original Candyman is the DVD I have at home
Oh shit.
right now. Never seen it. Looking forward to it. Apparently, it's pretty good. I heard the remake was also pretty good, which is why I decided to check out the original.
It's a good call.
Next, I have a movie called I Saw the Devil, which is a Korean movie, which I thought I had seen before, but then I listened to a podcast where they were talking about it, and I was like, wait a second, I don't remember any of this. So I think I didn't see it, but it sounds pretty intensely insane. I don't know how much of it, like how much of what I heard on the podcast is a spoiler, but basically this cop fails to arrest a serial killer and instead opts to just relentlessly beat his ass over and over again.
That's kind of like what the first part of that is real life.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't turn out that the serial killer just is a cop.
That's hilarious.
Happens more often than you'd think.
Yeah.
There was a robbery that happened in Philly recently over on the Temple campus. And keep in mind, I'm not a detective. I'm not a forensic investigator. I'm not a criminologist of any way, shape, or form of actual uh, 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 expertise. But the way that they described the way that these dudes performed this robbery of a house with like 10 people living in it, uh, the first thing that hopped into my brain was these dudes sound like cops.
Oh,
Because apparently they were being like very casual while they were there and like talking and joking with one another
huh.
as though they knew no one was going to show up.
Damn.
Uh, Yeah, and like they were apparently very organized about it. Like they woke up one person at a time and like took their phones from them and made like one person go wake up the next room of people and so on. Uh, Terrifying shit.
Yeah.
And
Fuck that.
for whatever reason, my first thought was these dudes are cops. uh, don't know if that will hold any truth or whatever, but that's my gut feeling. That was the same thing I thought about the suitcase killer a couple of years ago.
A suitcase killer.
Yeah, it was. I think that was. It was the summer during pandemic, the first pandemic summer. Uh, I think at least two times a dismembered corpse of a sex worker just appeared in a suitcase on a street corner.
Damn.
Uh, and apparently they had arrested a guy a couple of years ago for committing very similar crimes. However, it seems that this thing has been going on for like the last 20 years. Like every once in a while, just a dismembered body in a suitcase shows up on a street corner,
Jesus.
even though they supposedly arrested the guy that was doing it.
Fuck.
And that's another one of those things that just screams that's a cop doing that. That's why it's been going on for so long. That's why no one's fucking looking for it. They arrest someone, say it was them, and then a couple of years later, another body in a suitcase. It's
Fuck.
wild. And
That's fucking gnarly.
again, I should say that these are completely baseless conjecture. Uh, but it wouldn't surprise me one bit. Um, Speaking of things that wouldn't surprise me one bit, we talked about this when we were just playing video games the other night, but it might be good show talk. New Legacy of Kain game.
Yes. One sec.
Apparently they're. Oh, see ya. Well, I hope everything's okay over there. Um, y'all good?
Yep.
Great. But yeah, what you got any thoughts on New Legacy of Kain? Did you ever finish your story video rewatch?
Oh no, I need to pick that back up actually. Fuck. I forgot
How
I was
far did you
doing
get?
that.
Did you get to Soul Reaver?
Yeah, I got to the beginning of Soul Reaver. Um,
That opening cinematic is one of the all-time greats.
with the wing rip.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Cast him in.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I need to get through it because I don't know much about Soul Reaver itself. So
Right.
We'll
So
see.
you played Blood Omen multiple times, right? That's the
Yep, I
one that
never
you're the
actually
most
beat
familiar
it,
with.
but like, yeah, I
Oh,
spent a lot of
really?
hours on it.
Huh.
Yeah, I got
I'm
lost.
pretty
I remember
sure.
getting like three-quarters of the way through it.
I'm pretty sure I did eventually beat Blood Omen.
I believe it.
I think it was.
You beat Duff McWhalen, so like, what can't you
I
do?
think I went. It depends who you ask. I'm pretty sure I went back to it after I had beaten at least Soul Reaver 1. I think that was the first one that I played, and then I don't think I beat it, but then I know you were into Blood Omen 1, and that
Mm-hmm.
was when I played that, and I don't think I beat that until years later when I did, like, I guess Soul Reaver 2 had come out, and I was like, okay, I'm going to beat Soul Reaver 1, and I'm going to beat Blood Omen 1, and then I'm going to play Soul Reaver 2.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I
and I
remember
think
you being
ultimately
into
that
Soul
was,
Reaver.
yeah. That was Soul River 2 was PlayStation 2. I think that was one of the first games I had on PlayStation 2. That might have actually been why I got the PlayStation 2.
Damn, nice.
Um, because I was so pumped on that. Because even though I didn't beat it, Soul River 1 was just such a cool and fun game. Um, just such a unique story.
Mm-hmm.
Just cool stuff all over the place.
What's the
But yeah,
what's the canine-looking vampire's name?
Borador, the green
Mordor.
guy.
The what?
The green guy.
Green?
Pretty sure Vorador's green. Unless you're talking about Tyrell.
No, I think I'm talking about Mordor.
He's more bat looking.
Nah, the first like
Um
vampire guy that you're friends
yeah,
with that
yeah.
you like
All
drink
your
blood with.
dogs.
Right, exactly, yeah. He's my favorite.
Yeah, he's green. He's green.
Is he?
Yeah. Google image search.
I just imagine him kind of gray like.
Hmm. Green versus Gray Hulk. Yeah,
Yeah,
Vorador's
I guess he is.
badass. Um winds up being pretty important in the later games in fun ways.
I was gonna say. Because, I mean,
Um
we're allowed to talk spoilers in Blood Omen, right? Considering
for
the game is
sure
probably 30 years
for
old.
yeah, over a decade old game.
Only
I
a
don't know. I don't
decade, you
even know.
think?
Well, I'm thinking when Defiance was published. Let's
Oh,
see.
okay.
Legacy of Kain Defiance. What year release? 2003. Jeez Louise. So almost 20 years since uh the last Legacy of Kain. I guess there was Dark Sun, I think it was called, or no, World of Nosgoth was the MMO that was online for like a couple months. And
What
they
was
were like,
it?
"No one's playing this."
Uh,
It was called, I think it was called World of Nosgoth, and it was like you play. It was like the vampires and the humans, like MMO.
oh, interesting.
Yeah, apparently it was bad,
World of
uh,
Moscow.
which isn't terribly surprising. It's not really like,
So
why
this
would
game
you
came out
play a game series like Legacy of Kain and then be like, you know what this needs? Multiplayer.
multiplayer. This game came out 2 years before Pokemon.
Wow. BP, the BP timeline.
Right. That's what I judge every game on is when Pokemon came out.
That's a fun line of demarcation. Pokemon, like as ubiquitous as it became though, didn't and like it did spawn plenty of copycats, but it didn't turn every game into Pokemon to its credit, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like the way that like GTA 3 when that came out, there was like a
Oh
sea
yeah.
change in all of gaming where every game had to be a little bit like GTA 3.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Like that
It
was
was
when
like,
Tony
oh,
Hawk
this is how
stopped
it's
being
supposed to
about
be.
skateboarding. It was like now you can get off the board and run
And run
around and
around and be like you're in
yeah,
GTA.
right.
Yeah, no,
Or
that was
like
awful. I hated that.
or like Jack and Daxter, like let's take this fun platforming game and then in the second one it's gonna be just GTA.
They did it to Sonic the
What's
Hedgehog.
happening? Yeah, they did. They did him dirty.